Now we're going to head over to Lincoln Park. We're joined now by Maureen Murray. She is with the Lincoln Park Zoo. She is partnering in a project there where they're putting out some new rat contraception to test it as a breeding ground to kind of help us with all of our rat issues across the city of Chicago. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me. Pleasure to be here.
So first, let's start with just how bad is the rat issue here in the city of Chicago compared to other cities like in New York or Philadelphia and places like that?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it's surprisingly hard to answer because basically no city really knows how many rats live there. We do know that more people complain about rats in Chicago compared to any other city in America. We've had that dubious title of America's rattiest city for a decade, but that's really because people are engaging with 311, they're reporting their rats. So I like to think about it as a good thing that people are really engaged in city policies, but there is a lot of frustration too. We did surveys a few years ago, and a lot of people see, rats on their block, rats in their house. It affects their day-to-day life. So it's certainly something that needs our attention and needs a lot of help.
And the Lincoln Park Zoo has kind of partnered in a study where you guys kind of released plant-based birth control for these rats. How does that differ from your, typical, rat poison? Is that what was being used before?
Yeah, you're absolutely correct that Chicago, like most cities, relies on rat poison to kill rats. And the issue with using rat poison is that it affects more than just rats. When animals like hawks or owls eat rats that have been poisoned, that also poisons their system. And there was a really high-profile case a couple of years ago where there was a family of owls in North Pond in Lincoln Park, and one by one those owls succumbed to rat poison. And so that really rallied a community, particularly the Chicago Bird Alliance, to really dig in on this issue and figure out how we can use less rat poison on the landscape. And so that led to this partnership with Wisdom Goodworks, who makes a contraceptive pellet called Good Bites. It's got peanut butter in it, so rats like to eat it. And it also has that plant extract that affects reproduction in the rats. And so you can sort of think about it like human birth control in the sense that the rats have to keep eating those pellets to get the effect. But it's different than human birth control because it's not hormonal. It's just a plant extract that affects the reproductive organs. And so we're hopeful that it can be another tool in the toolbox to help reduce rat populations without poisoning other animals and protecting urban biodiversity.
Just how long is it going to take us to see the results of this new version of, rat birth control? And what does success look like?
So your second question is amazing because very few people actually define what success looks like when it comes to rats. In our case, we're hoping to see, basically what we're trying to see is a change in rats over a full calendar year so that we know that any change is sustainable over the longer term rather than like a quick crash and then they rebound right after, which is what you see with rat poison. So basically we have these feeding stations out now in Lincoln Park, and over the next couple of months we expect to see more and more rats eating the pellets as they learn that it's safe, they learn that it's there. We're expecting that to peak over the next couple of months. And then around 2 to 3 months time, we're expecting to see that starting to trend down as there are fewer rats being born and then there are fewer rats on the landscape. Now, so at about the 6-month mark, that's when we're hoping to see this big reduction in rat activity. And then we want to see that sustained over the last 6 months of the study to make sure that the contraceptive effect is sustainable and that you're not going to see these sort of rises and crashes in rat populations.
All right, Maureen Murray from the Lincoln Park Zoo. We're looking forward to seeing the results of this study. I don't think any of us really want to see any rats on our streets, but we thank so much for your time and for your research.
Thank you so much for having me.